Center City right now, wearing my very black shirt. Hello, gentlemen. How y'all doing? It's eerily quiet. I don't know if you'll even be able to hear me over my mask, but this is the new Philadelphia. And it's alarming and it's disturbing, but it's necessary because change is necessary. And I'm just gonna try to capture it all and show you all what I see. All right. Glad that you all are here watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's Tinuke Sees the World, and the world as I see it for the past few weeks has been tumultuous. Many of us have witnessed a man, Mr. George Floyd, get murdered in public. I feel very deeply for George Floyd's family, for Ahmaud Arbery's family, for Breonna Taylor's family. And I think what we're witnessing in our society is a shift that has been needed for a very long time. What I see in our world is unrest, discontentment, frustration, anger. And I think it perhaps has been under the surface for a very long time. I think conversations that have needed to occur are finally occurring. The talks that have been happening about racial inequality in this country in separate spaces are finally happening in spaces where people are coming together and working to think of solutions. The real goal is to see actual systemic change. And within the Black community, I see us banding together, using our voices, using our platforms, using our spaces to amplify issues that have been prevalent for generations in this country.
Peace. No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
On my side, I've been seeing a lot of allyship from those who do not identify as Black people, but those who are listening and sharing their platforms, who occupy a space in the majority, who are advocating for change. And that brings me joy. To be quite honest, as an empath and an introvert and a very sensitive person, it was a lot to witness. The way the social media algorithms work is that if you see a specific type of content that resonates with you or your particular demographic, you're bound to see that content over and over and over again. And it is, to be quite frank, emotionally exhausting, but necessary. I think I've had some really solid conversations and been able to talk with people about ways to advocate for change. And for me, I just wanted to speak on a couple of issues, one of which is complacency with racism. We are operating in an inherently racist society. The indigenous people who originally occupied this space have a right to be here and were removed by colonizers. Those who were brought here as enslaved individuals have a right to land and a right to space, and for 400 years since 1619 have been oppressed, whether it's systemically, whether it's educationally, whether it's financially. There's a very evident system of racism that has played out for decades, centuries at this point, that needs to be changed desperately. Change requires action. That's really what it comes down to. I spent a lot of time petitioning, making phone calls, listening in on county meetings that have been happening, looking for a way to distribute funds to places that desperately need it, like recreational facilities, sanitation here in Philadelphia, education here in Philadelphia. There are so many parts of our city that desperately need funding. It's a lot to take in because there's so much work that needs to be done. And my hope is that because our situation of regularly living has changed drastically, the real conversation and the difficulty happens now.